Hello and welcome to Man's Model Moments. So today I'm going to be having a look at something a little bit different in the form of this sci-fi spaceship model by MPC. Now this is from a Gerry Anderson live action show I used to watch as a kid, Space 1999, which I'm sure many of you out there will also either remember or have heard of. Now this particular ship, the Hawk Fighter, only ever appeared in one episode of the show, but as a child I thought it was one of the coolest things ever, even more so than the famous Eagle transporters. Now this is a relatively new tooling by MPC, which includes some nice box art and some notes on the side from Brian Johnson, the visual effects director for the show, together with the studio model. There are also some nice shots of the craft from the show, both in the original white and the orange that was hastily applied after they changed their minds before filming. Anyway, I'm excited to look inside, so let's do that. Inside the deep top opening box we have the black and white instructions, a bagged set of decals, a bag containing the base, and then a single bag containing all the sprues for the actual model. You can also see the outer parts of the box inner also have full colour photographs showing both paint schemes and decal placement, which are really extensive and clear. Taking a look at the instructions, these are printed in black and white and consist of a single folded sheet. There's the usual bit of text underneath a black and white render of the box art, and then we can get into the actual instructions proper. These are in the form of line drawings, and while certainly a step up from other MPC instructions I've used in some of their older kits, they're pretty basic. That's not to say that they're not functional and clear, however, but a lot of the assembly steps cover multiple pieces coming together without necessarily indicating order, so you'll assume that that's not critical for most of these steps. At the end, there's also a choice of how to display the model on its base, which is a bit of a bonus. The decals are very nice, being extensive, colour dense and crisply printed in perfect register. Reading the copyright and manufacturing details, it does say the decals are printed in Italy, which I assume means that these are by cartograph, which makes sense. Now there's not much to say about the base, which is just a dome with a wire to put the model on, and it all looks sturdy enough. Moving on to the main sprue frames, the first of these holds the main body, which is supplied in two halves, split horizontally along the long axis. These look nicely cast, though some of the injection gates look a bit hefty. The next frame we can see a huge injection tree piece, branching into quite a mixed array of large, medium and small components, all in the same whitish grey plastic that the whole kit is cast in. This does feel a bit nicer than the brittle, harsh white plastic that old space kits used to come in. There is some fine casting here too, present on both sides of the frame. The next frame has a slightly more consistently sized array of what seem like mainly structural pieces, and again there's some decent injection moulding on display here. The last frame has some finer pieces on it, as well as larger pieces for the rear and the front of the ship. The other pieces are a mix, but again, there's some decent quality injection moulding shown here, which certainly hasn't always been my experience with MPC kits of yesteryear. Now Space 1999 holds a special place in my heart, and I've always wanted a model of a Hawk Fighter, but not enough to pay the silly money for the inaccurate 1977 MPC kit, which was of course later released by Airfix. Bringing out an accurate, newly tooled kit in 2018 was not something I'd anticipated, and I was keen to get my hands on one to have a look. Now this kit does retail for $39.99, so it's not cheap, and it sits in a bit of a funny space for modelers given the value that you can get in modelling for that price outside of specialised subjects like this. Having said that, if you are a fan, then you're probably easily going to self-justify the purchase, at which point the value proposition is going to look much better. For me, I'm looking forward to building this up, as I think it will make a nice change from the usual modelling fare. Although MPC did release a 1/48 scale version last year, so maybe I should get that one too. What do you think? That's all for this instalment of Man's Model Moments. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more like it, and share this video with others you think would also enjoy it. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and if you're feeling generous then I also have a Patreon, which is absolutely the best way of helping me to grow the channel and produce more content like this. With that, I hope you have plenty of modelling moments of your own, and I look forward to welcoming you on the next video.